Hi folks, I'm Dr. Ed Beyer of Beyer Natural Health Solutions, and today I want to discuss with you what I think over the 30 years of being in practicing functional medicine are the top 6 tests that need to be done by anyone who knows or suspects that they suffer from an autoimmune disease. And the reason why this is important is, folks, you need to understand that all autoimmune diseases are progressive. They don't get better on their own. They only get worse with time. So arresting it, the sooner, the better. And the second reason is once we are autoimmune to one tissue area in our body, we are going to eventually develop autoimmunity to multiple tissue areas. The whole body's on the menu, like I like to say. So the whole premise behind the information and what we do for our patients in our clinic is identifying the causes, the triggers to autoimmune disease. These triggers to autoimmune disease are in the scientific literature. They're not something that we made up, or they're actually in the scientific literature, but traditional medicine with its pharmaceutical approach just simply isn't interested in this. And we are very interested in it because we get a lot of joy and satisfaction, really, fulfillment, getting people that are really sick to really healthy. So let's get through the test. Number 1, comprehensive blood work, including 9 thyroid markers. Thyroid is a main component to a proper immune system because thyroid hormone turns our genes on and off. And for the immune system to be working properly, we need that to be regulated. And also with the blood work is we look at not at lab ranges, which are based on sick people, we look at functional ranges, healthy people ranges. Because a lot of people come to us and they're like, my doctor says my labs are normal, but I don't feel normal, because they're using lab ranges. Labs base their ranges on the average sick person that's been in that lab. We don't do that. And we run significant amount of markers to where we figure out the why. I always say in functional medicine, we don't care about what you have. We want to know why you have it and address it and get rid of it. Next is food sensitivity testing. Look, the things we put into our mouth are extremely important. And the food we eat today is not the same food we ate 20, 30 years ago. It's been genetically modified, and there's been a lot of toxins and pesticides and things added to it. So a lot of us eat these foods and our immune system looks at it like it's foreign, because it is foreign compared to what grandma and grandpa ate. And so there's also a lot of bad food sensitivity testing out there. You must look at immunoglobulin G and immunoglobulin A to really assess whether or not you react to a food or not. So we run that panel on all of our autoimmune patients, and then our patients work with Alexa, our nutritionist, to get through all that. The next one is leaky gut testing. This is where the permeability of the barrier between the outside world, folks, when things are in our gut, they're still on the outside of our body. Our gut is an invagination, it's just one long tube, it's an invagination of our outside world. And it has a barrier system in the small bowel, and when that barrier system gets too permeable, it's like having holes in your screen door on a hot summer day. Things start to get into the body, into the bloodstream that don't belong, and your immune system now is taxed with this duty of getting rid of these toxins and large food particles. Leaky gut can be tested for, there's different types, and it can be corrected. It is the gateway to autoimmunity, and that is well documented in the scientific literature. Number 4 is genetic testing. There are certain vitamins and certain nutrients that we need in high levels to be able to have a proper functioning immune system. And when people have certain mutations on genes where they're not activating these vitamins, whether they be B vitamins, vitamin D, vitamin A, we need to know about it so we can circumvent that by putting you on different forms of the vitamins and nutrients. That's a deal breaker. Number 5 is stool testing. We use a test where it's a DNA test where the lab is able to measure the amount of DNA of the good microbiome, the good gut flora, and look for any type of pathogens or infections in the gut. The gut constitutes 80% of our immunity. So why not look there first? In fact, I will let the secret out right now. In our clinic, we always address gut dysfunction first. Number 6 is proper hormone testing. And what I mean by that is the thyroid hormone we're going to check through the blood. I'm talking about steroid hormones, which come from cholesterol. Testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, aldosterone. These are steroid hormones that are made in the testes in males and ovaries in females and in our adrenal glands. And those are major immune modulators, and we need to look at them very, very closely, especially cortisol. So look, I was raised by a man, my father was a sergeant in the Marines, and he taught me, Eddie, if you're gonna do a job, do it right. So the way, and I have used that all my life, and it's worked for me. And so the way we really are able to get people with autoimmune disease better is do the specific testing and figure them out. Because what creates autoimmunity in one person can be very different than what's causing it in the next person, and the symptoms can be identical. So you have to, the Carpenter's rule, measure twice, cut once. You've got to figure people out, and that's why we have a high success rate. I'm Dr. Ed Beyer. I hope that helps. If you want more information on how we manage and support and put autoimmune disease in remission, click on the link below.